Yo, what is up guys, and welcome back to McAD's Entertainment. I'm your host as always, Adam McGahee. Well, we are rapidly counting down the clock to the long-awaited Marvel Zombie series slated to release on Disney Plus on the 24th of this month. They randomly dropped yet another trailer out of nowhere last Friday, and it's got your boy even more hyped. I mean, what's cooler than Spider-Man wielding Stormbreaker? Well, I mean, maybe him using Stormbreaker, then using it as a guitar, and then jamming out to 3 Days Grace and Rob Zombie. That would be pretty metal. Anyways, business is booming in the zombie economy right now, so I'm back at you guys with another Marvel Zombies video. You really seem to like the last one I did on Blade's history with Marvel Zombies, as he will be one of the leads in the upcoming series. Now in the show, he will not only be Blade, but he will also be blessed with the powers of Moon Knight. So the next logical video in this series should be on Moon Knight's full-bloodied history with the undead. This will encompass the man's tale during the original run of Marvel Zombies comics, along with a disturbing short story from the anthology series Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood. But before we hop into things, as always, I wanted to mention that our superhero training program is live. If you're looking to get in superhero shape this year, follow us on Instagram at McAD's Fitness. You can shoot me a message with code SUPER, and I'll send you our free 2-week superhero training plan. With that out of the way though, let's get on with what you came here for, and that is the full insane history of Moon Knight versus Marvel Zombies. Who is he? Zombie Moon Knight, like about nearly every super of this dimension, was transformed into a ravenous cannibal after being infected with an alien virus. He made his first appearance in the pages of Ultimate Fantastic Four number 23 back in 2005. He comes from Earth 2149, but his origins pre-pandemic were very similar to his main Marvel Universe counterpart from Earth 616. This all changed one day when a zombie version of the Sentry was sent to this Earth and crashed in the middle of a crater. The Avengers showed up to investigate, where the Sentry woke up and tore through the heroes, infecting them with the zombie virus. The newly cannibalized superheroes then paraded through the city streets, consuming every poor sucker that got in their way. Man, imagine coming back from a hard day at work just to see that not only the Avengers are tearing up your city block for the millionth time this month, but they're now zombies and are eating your neighbors like Snickers bars. Honestly, I see this, I'm heading back to work. As the infection spread, our boy Moon Knight, along with the other non-infected heroes, were called aboard the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier, where Nick Fury planned strategy on how to handle things. The likes of Reed Richards and Tony Stark were tasked with finding scientific solutions to the plague, while Moon Knight was part of a ground team sent to battle the Horde in the streets below. While the heroes managed to defeat several of the zombies, they were soon overrun by the undead, where at some point Moon Knight was infected. At some point later, it is revealed that former Fantastic Four villain Dr. Doom was harboring survivors at his castle in Latveria. Finding out about the tasty meat stash, Moon Knight and the other zombified heroes invited themselves to dinner, where they stormed the fortress. Before the invasion, it was revealed that Doom and his scientists had constructed a multiversal portal that would allow them to escape to another dimension. We are then joined by Ash, yes, the same Ash Williams from the Evil Dead movies, who also found his way to this dimension during this time. To give the humans time to escape, Ash broke into Doom's library, where he consulted the help of the evil magical book called the Necronomicon. Together, they resurrected the leftover remains of the people left behind by the zombies and transformed them into their own personal Deadite army. The Deadites then stormed the castle, and one of the first poor zombie heroes they got the jump on was poor Moon Knight. Poor Moon Knight. Dude got jumped harder than the Power Rangers did when the Green Ranger hopped up in the Megazord. We'll never forget that moment. The Deadite Legion then went to war with the remaining Avengers, but were quickly cut down by the superpowered cannibals. However, the battle gave Dr. Doom just enough time to get Ash and the other people through the portal, which he promptly destroyed. Not about to let this ruin his day, zombie Reed Richards put his brilliant rotten brain to use and managed to repair Doom's portal machine. He used it to lure a younger version of himself from the ultimate dimension to the zombieverse, telling the poor dude that they get to work on projects together. Realizing he had been catfished, young Reed manages to escape and was saved by Magneto, who was protecting a small group of survivors. Reed then told the mutant about his Earth, and right as they planned to escape and get to Reed's machine, they are then swarmed by zombie Moon Knight and several hundred other hungry heroes. Hey, you gotta love the dude. Even despite being a zombie here, he is still trying to look as mysterious and Batman-like as possible. That's Moon Knight for you. With the aid of Reed's fellow Ultimate Fantastic Four members, the humans managed to escape, with Magneto staying behind to destroy the device so the undead could not get through. Ticked off at Magneto for shutting down the all-you-can-eat buffet, zombie Moon Knight and a group of other Avengers surrounded the poor mutant. Not about to go out like a punk, Magneto then summoned every piece of nearby metal he could find and did the most metal thing ever by unleashing a shrapnel rainstorm upon Moon Knight and the rest. Cool as this was, this only somewhat slowed down the zombie heroes, who then quickly caught up to poor Magneto and devoured him whole. Rest in peace, buddy. You tried. Made for a great kill cam, though. After eating poor Magneto, the zombies wondered when their next food order would arrive, only to be greeted by the Silver Surfer, who announced that his master Galactus was coming. Cool and opposing as he looked, poor homie was soon gobbled up by the zombie Avengers. The select group that got to eat the Surfer then noticed they got his sweet powers as a result of this, and then used them to have a zombie barbecue where they cooked up all their nearby friends. Yeah, y'all, this is one cookout I'm definitely passing on the invite to. Wondering why his Employee of the Month never came back, Galactus showed up to the planet, only to get a hole yeeted right into him by the combined might of the Cosmic Supers. They then ate Galactus, got his powers, saw there was nothing left on Earth to eat, and bounced off to space in search of the next hot meal. You're just gonna leave without saying goodbye? I see how it is. Sometime later, we then cut to none other than our favorite merc with a mouth, Deadpool, of the main Marvel Universe of Earth-616, who was on a rather strange adventure, which involved him returning the still living severed head of his zombified self back to the Marvel Zombieverse. I'm not even going to try to explain the full backstory for that in this video. For the full thing, check out the over 40-minute Zombie Deadpool video we covered a while back in the description below. It's a wild time. Trust me. You're gonna need the chimichangas for that one. Upon getting back to the Zombieverse through a portal in the Florida swamp, Deadpool and his posse looked on at the apocalyptic beauty of the Zombieverse, only to get immediately attacked by a still very much alive zombie Moon Knight, Tigra, and Shamrock. Engaging in a bloody battle in the New York streets, our boy Mark Spector tried to take a bite out of Deadpool, only for the mercenary to gain the upper hand, slicing the dude's head right off. R.I.P. buddy. All the voices are gone now, even the hungry ones. While this was the end of this zombie Moon Knight, it's not quite over yet. But Adam, he's dead. How can he be? Shh. You'll see, guys. All in good time. Good things come to zombie boys who wait. We then cut back to the zombie space Avengers, who had spent the last 40 years going throughout the cosmos, eating every poor living alien soul in sight. They soon reached the edge of the universe, realized there was nothing left to eat, and headed back to Earth to fix the portal machine that Magneto had wrecked all those years ago. They got back and realized they had missed a few tasty little morsels, as they saw Black Panther was leading a small group of human survivors. Panther and the rest went to war with the heroes, and eventually got them to come to their senses that the hunger was all in their head, and that it would go away after prolonged periods of time without food. See guys, fasting is good for you. It can even cure zombification. Don't quote me on that. I'm no medical doctor. I'm just the guy on YouTube trying to make fun zombie videos for you guys. Please, don't sue me. After the scuffle, the gang wanted to apologize for kinda destroying all of reality. They wanted to make it up to everyone by using the multiverse portal to go to different worlds and gather supplies to repair the damages that they had made. However, one of the hot-headed mutant survivors, Malcolm Cortez, was feeling zombie racist and was not cool with working with these rotting corpses. He then activated the portal, sending the group to worlds unknown so he could claim the new Wakandan throne for himself. Congratulations, bro. You're king of nothing. Sounds pretty lame, homie. The supers then found themselves teleported to an Earth similar to theirs before the infection broke out, this Earth being called Earth Z. The multiversal travel altered their cells, causing them to lose their cosmic powers, but also made their hunger return, causing them to spread the infection to this world as well. Things got so bad that just like the initial zombieverse, all life was pretty much wrecked, leaving a small group of victorious zombie Avengers. These alternate Earth undead included Submariner, Super Skrull, Thundra, Quicksilver, Quasar, Sentry, and of course our boy Moon Knight. Working with Zombie Giant Man to get access to the Watcher's teleportation technology, the group was soon encountered by Zombie Spider-Man, Rhodey, who was a sweet cyborg Iron Man, Hulk, and Wolverine. Dubbing themselves the New Avengers, Spidey and the rest went to war with Moon Knight and his boys to finally end things once and for all. This is so cool, easily one of the most aesthetically pleasing panels in all of Marvel Zombies history. And hey, it's got Moon Knight front and center. What more could you want? Prior to the fight, Spider-Man worked with Rhodey where they studied special nanobots created by Tony Stark that would eat necrotic tissue. They then called up Sandman and laden his body with the bots and stored the dude in a cute little jar. Once all the zombies were together in close proximity, Spidey had Wolverine toss the jar at the group, unleashing the Sandman like a giant Pokemon. He then flooded the battlefield with his nanobot-infected body, killing Moon Knight and every zombie present, finally putting an end to the bloody madness. The story opens where we see Moon Knight and Khonshu standing aboard a rooftop as they overlook the ruined streets of Chicago, nearly a year after the undead virus took over the planet. Knowing that he had to help more people, Mark urged Khonshu that they needed to stay, where the god told him that they did all they could and that it was time to move on. Arguing with his host, Mark demanded for Khonshu to aid him in this fight against the undead, where they were soon cut short as they realized they were not alone. Surrounded by a series of portals, an army of zombified demonic-looking dogs emerged, where they attacked Mark, who used his power to combat the hounds, sending them back where they came from. Seeing that one was left, Moon Knight went to attack, but was suddenly blasted by a powerful energy beam from above. Our hero would be in for quite the sight, for his attacker was a fully zombified and still self-aware Iron Man, who told both Mark and Khonshu that he had been looking for them. Knowing that ordinary men could not see gods like Khonshu, Moon Knight asked the rotting billionaire just who he was caught up with, where we then see the disturbing truth, that during this undead calamity, Tony Stark had become the avatar for the fellow evil god Anubis. Khonshu then warns Anubis that their father Osiris would get involved due to Anubis' disobedience, where the being then reveals that Osiris' time had come to an end, for this virus would mean that no more souls would have to cross to the afterlife, therefore no longer being his slave. In order for his freedom to be fully complete though, he would need the meddling Mark and Khonshu removed from the equation. He then orders Iron Man to viciously tear into Moon Knight's chest. Attempting to hold the Avenger back, Mark knew that the time for restraint was over. He then took out one of his blades and plunged it into Iron Man's neck, only for the undead cannibal to be angered by this, where he then ripped into Moon Knight's arm, infecting him with the deadly disease. Seeing that the former hero would soon join his ranks, Tony left the man so his transformation could be complete. All this fighting certainly worked up an appetite, for in the meantime, Tony leapt into the streets below, where he helped himself to the horrified surviving citizens. Covered in blood and feeling his body changing, Mark struggled to get up, where he was once again approached by Khonshu, asking if he was ready to accept his aid. Telling the god that he felt his mind failing and that more innocents would die, Khonshu, sarcastically as ever, asked the man just when did he ever use his mind to succeed, and that faith never needed rationality. We are then taken to an alley where the zombified Tony approaches one of the last remaining humans and prepares to eat him, only to be met with Moon Knight, who came crashing down upon the monster's neck. With Tony telling Mark to calm down as they are on the same side, Anubis sensed this was not exactly the case. Abandoned by the god, Iron Man then called out to the Avengers for backup, where an enraged Moon Knight leapt upon the man, beating his head until his skull caved completely in. With Tony's head being complete putty, Khonshu congratulated his vessel on a job well done, who was now completely infected. Seeing this unsatiable desire for flesh as a control mechanism, the god then told Mark he must be hungry, where he encouraged him to help himself to Tony's freshly slain corpse, which he was more than happy to do. A zombie Captain America and Black Widow would then arrive on the scene in complete shock of what they just witnessed, where Khonshu then told his pupil to feed on them as well, and that he would supply him a steady line of flesh as long as he obeyed his commands. With a twisted, bloody smile, Mark agreed to obey, with a sinister Khonshu promising that he would build the man in his new image.